Look, you know exactly what I'm about to talk about. This thing is literally killing your grades right now, and if you don't stop to delete it by the end of this video, it's going to be too late for you. So I'm going to give you two options right now. Option number one, you click off this video, go to your phone, scroll to the Instagram app and actually delete it from your phone. Or option number two, watch until the end of this video and then delete Instagram off your phone. There is no third option, because if you truly want to actually get the best grades of your life, this is the thing that you must do. So I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you will delete social media after watching this video. Point number 1, Instagram is mentally toxic. And there's 3 reasons why Instagram is mentally toxic. So the first reason is because Instagram emotionally manipulates you. So one time I was in the car, me and my family were sitting in the car. I was sitting at the back, and to my right was my sister, and she was scrolling on her phone. And being the big brother that I was, I needed to go check up on her and to make sure that she wasn't actually watching some, bad stuff, right? So I took her phone, I literally grabbed it from her hand. She looked at me kind of surprised and stuff. I grabbed the phone from her hand and I went onto her For You page. Basically if you're on Instagram, you can go click the search button thing, and basically it would just show you, it's kind of like the YouTube recommended list. And then I saw what was actually on her For You page, and it was the most disgusting things I've seen. It wasn't too bad, it wasn't bad, but every single time I'd scroll down maybe 2 or 3 blocks, I could literally see couples on Instagram, literally just posting and making photos of themselves and putting themselves on Instagram just to show the world. And to me, as a big brother, I was like, what the hell? Instagram is literally manipulating my sister. What the hell? So you know how in modern day schools, there's this kind of agenda where they promote young dating, when you're 13 or 12 years old, they literally promote that shit on Instagram. I could literally see that stuff on my phone, and I could tell that it was emotionally manipulating my sister. So afterwards, I went to her For You page, I clicked not interested on every single one of those disgusting posts. But that just goes to show how Instagram literally manipulates your brain into thinking that, dating at this such young age is actually normal, which is completely false, by the way. It's not normal at all. The second reason why Instagram is mentally toxic is because it creates a false perception of reality. Instagram Reels especially loves to show you the top 1% of people online. Around the world right now, think of your top fitness influencers, entrepreneurs. All of them are literally posting content on social media, especially Instagram and especially TikTok. So whenever you go on those apps, you will see those people appear on your feed all the time. And sometimes you will start to feel jealous. So for example, let's say that there's that fitness influencer, for example, David Lade, right? He has a super, super aesthetic body, probably top 1% of the 1%. And he's posting on social media. Guess what? You will never look like him. But you will judge yourself based on your current body right now. Compare yourself to David Lade, and you will think that, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I just wasn't born with good genetics. You see, that's really, really mentally toxic, because that kind of mindset is actually going to make you feel burnt out. It's literally going to make you feel tired and miserable. That's not the type of mindset you want to have, right? You want to be almost this type of guy who's just off social media and doesn't compare himself to other people. And that guy is probably much more happy than the other guy that I mentioned. The last reason is because it creates a sense of fear of missing out. So, Instagram literally detects which girls you like. I don't know, if you're a guy like me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you go on Instagram and you check the stories, the first few stories, notice it or not, are going to be the girls that you like. You could run this observation, run this experiment for yourself, and just test and see that I'm actually speaking the truth. Because, right now I'm talking to some person, and every single time I go on Instagram, whenever there's whenever I start to scroll and check the stories, I'm not perfect, by the way. When I go on Instagram web and check the stories on my phone, the first story that I see is of that girl. I'm just gonna be completely honest here. Instagram can literally detect which girls you swipe left, you tap right or you swipe right. Because when you tap right, it means that you want to see more of that person. So Instagram knows that and literally adjusts its feed to reflect that. But if you like kind of swipe right on the stories, that just means like, okay, get out of my face, right? Instagram literally detects that, and its algorithm will literally put the story of the girl that you like first or the guy you like first. And it will literally show you that in the first 3 bubbles. It's basically emotional manipulation. Why would you let an app do something like that to you? It doesn't make sense. And the problem with that is that it creates this sense of fear of missing out. FOMO, like FOMO, FOMO. You've probably experienced this before. When you try to get off the app and you start to see posts and stories of people that maybe you like, maybe you don't, maybe just some people that are in your life that maybe you're interested in, you start to get this sense of fear of missing out. You start to feel, okay, if I click off this app, I feel like I'm losing connection to these people and I don't know what they're doing. But Instagram is deliberately tricking your brain and using like this hardwired social mechanism of fear of missing out to hook you and make you more addicted to the app, which is absolutely insane. So that's why you must delete social media. Just from that first reason alone, that's why you should delete social media. Point number 2, short form content literally kills your brain. So this is really, really cool analogy that I call the train switching analogy. So basically, imagine you're on a train that's traveling on the train tracks at around 100 kilometers an hour. And I'm not talking about like the electric trains or the metros that you see in today's world. I'm talking like old school locomotive trains, literally on a train track that is still like, has the grids and stuff like that. Imagine you're on that train and you're traveling at 100 kilometers per hour. You have a crap ton of momentum, right? You're going at 100 kilometers an hour. It's going to be extremely hard to stop and brake. But when you switch tracks, right? When you know you're on a train, sometimes the tracks will like diverge like this. So like this, it's gonna go like this. When you switch the tracks, you can't just switch the tracks and travel at 100 kilometers an hour. It doesn't work like that. Otherwise, you will derail off the train track and you will probably crash and die. And so you literally have to brake up until like 10 or 20 kilometers an hour. Then you can switch to this other track. That's how trains work. If you've ever been on a train, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So when you're doing a deep work task, for example, doing a task that requires a crap ton of focus, for example, doing past papers, or in this case, it's me recording this video. If by any chance, I go on my phone and start scrolling on social media, just a little check, grab my phone, start scrolling. It's like me switching the train track. Remember how this train was traveling at 100 kilometers an hour? It now needs to brake, go to 20 kilometers an hour, then switch tracks. I've basically lost all momentum, and that's kind of the analogy that I want to make, because flow state is kind of like that. It takes around 15 minutes to get into a flow state, and it takes 15 minutes to accelerate the train so that it goes up to its top speed and starts barreling down the tracks at maximum momentum. It's the same when you're doing a deep work task. And the problem with social media is that it literally encourages this context switching. We call it context switching, by the way. That's the scientific term for it. But it encourages this context switching, and it basically makes your brain less focused and actually reduces your brain's ability to focus over time. Point number 3 is that successful people don't actually use Instagram. For example, think of Hamza, Iman Gadzi, Alex Hormozi, and all of the other business people. Maybe think of Elon Musk or Donald Trump, the really, really successful people like Bill Gates. Do you think they're on Instagram and scrolling? Probably not, right? Think about it. Imagine you were them for just 1 minute. Do you think you would have the urge to actually pick up your phone and start scrolling on Instagram? Hell no. You'll be so focused on whatever you're doing, whatever goals you're trying to achieve in life right now, that you won't even have the thought of going on Instagram and checking your phone. It's incompatible. You won't think like that if you're one of these really, really successful people. So that's what I'm trying to emulate. I've deleted Instagram off my phone probably around a year ago, and it's been the best decision of my life. I'm so much more focused. And whenever I start to do work, right, I don't have the urge to go in and check Instagram just to see whether like the girl that I like posted or not. I don't have that urge anymore. When I do check Instagram, sometimes I check Instagram. Like I will go on the website and check Instagram. I've never downloaded TikTok, by the way. I've never ever downloaded TikTok, and I don't think I ever will. I think that shit is probably just poisonous. So I'm not gonna touch it at all. Sometimes, however, I do post on Instagram. I sometimes do Q&As on my stories, and I sometimes post educational content on Instagram. So whenever I actually post on Instagram, I will go on the app store and actually click download on Instagram before I can even start posting. But after I post, after I do all my stories and everything, I'm deleting that shit off my phone. It's nowhere to be found. It's gone. I'm not touching that ever because I know how addictive it is. So a couple of weeks ago, actually, I started reinstalling Instagram just to, post educational content. But when I didn't delete it off my phone after I finished posting, guess what? I started to feel the addictive pull of social media once again inside my brain. And that feeling literally made me, I don't know about you, but I literally was so much less productive whenever I was doing my work. And I don't want that to happen to you. So please, for the love of God, please delete Instagram off your phone. It is the most demonic thing ever. Speaking about demonic, if you're not religious, maybe you want to ignore this. But if you're religious, I was reading this book from this monk. His name is Paisios. One of the things that he said in his book, by the way, which was written in 1965 or something like that, he said that television is demonic. Demonic, basically, if you're not religious, demonic just means it's really, really bad for you, right? So he's basically saying that television is really bad for you. And he also said that television is brainwashing young children. Imagine what he would say if he was still alive today. Imagine what he would say about social media. He would say such horrible things about it that I can't even imagine. Think about it. A person who's literally living secluded from the world, he is saying that television is ruining people's lives and it's demonic. Imagine what he would say about social media. I mean, even now, I don't think that television is that bad. It's not that bad. Imagine what he would think about social media. He probably think it's the most disgusting human invention that was ever created. So please, 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 you need to delete social media. Right now, if you have the balls, and I pray that you do, please go on your phone, go to your social media apps, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You know what I'm talking about. I don't have to explain this to you again. But please, for the love of God, please delete that thing off your phone. It is not doing you any good and is not serving you. Plus, even when you delete these apps, you can still use the Chrome version, which means that you can still message people, you can still reply to people's stories, but it's just a lot less addicting than scrolling to the app and just being able to click it and there's tons of dopamine everywhere. So please, for the love of God, delete Instagram off your phone. If you want more advice like this, by the way, you can check the first link in the description below. It's my paid program, my paid study program, A-Star Students. And we literally have hours and hours of content and coaching calls in there for you to check out and learn from them. Because in that community, I go over the exact step-by-step systems that allowed me to get 3 A stars and 1 A in my A-levels and, study more efficiently in university. I go through the entire learning system in there. Plus, I also go through some other more niche stuff like this one, like about deleting social media. And I say some stuff that honestly I wouldn't say on YouTube because sometimes I can't really freely express my thoughts on YouTube because, some stuff I'd rather keep to myself. But it's all in the community down below. So if you want to become a better student, I really do believe that A-Star Students will help you a lot. So if that's interesting to you, check the first link in the description below. It's called A-Star Students. But as always, may God guide us on the right path, and I'll see you in the next video.